Yeah, introduce yourselves in the chat as well. Tell me, where are you logging in from? What do you do? Are you a lawyer, law student, or something else? So I'm the CEO of 𝗀𝗳𝗃𝗁𝗃. My name is Ramanuj Mukherjee. I graduated from NUJS back in 2011. After that, I briefly worked in a law firm called Trilegal, and then I started 𝗊𝗄𝗄𝗃 in 2012. And for the last 10 years, I have been a legal entrepreneur. I have built several companies, and I run this company 𝗀𝗃𝗁𝗃. And you may have seen 𝗊𝗄𝗄𝗃's blog, right? You might have come across 𝗊𝗄𝗄𝗃's blog, which is read by almost more than 15 lakh people every month, almost 20 lakh people every month. And if you're a lawyer, law student, you may have come across 𝗊𝗄𝗄𝗃's blog. All right, so 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃, are you here? 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃 still hasn't joined, so we will get started with today's presentation. And once 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃 joins, he'll let me know. So step by step, 12 months guide on how to go from, 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃 is here. Hi, 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃. 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃 is COO at 𝗀𝗃𝗃, and he's my co-presenter today.
Hi, everyone.
Co-host as well. Okay,
All
𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃
right.
co-host now.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about step by step 12 months guide how to go from beginner in English to a professional level of English, right? Even
Yeah.
professional level is like, there's not one level of proficiency as a professional who uses English as their primary language. There's more to that. And 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃 and I are going to tell you that. So 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃, you want to introduce yourself quickly and then we'll get started.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm a co-founder and COO at 𝗀𝗃𝗃, a NUJS alumnus, former corporate lawyer, worked at Trilegal in corporate and restructuring team, and I've been working on legal education for the past 10 years. We have our different ways in which we learned English. Ramanuj learned it differently. I learned it differently. For me, I studied in a variety of CBSE, ICSE, and state board, schools. And I studied in ICSE like I was at a convent. So written English, spoken English was not the issue, but communication, I realized, was the key to getting professional success. And I realized that as adults, we can't read, you know, fifth standard, sixth standard, eighth standard grammar textbooks to fix our communication. So adults need to learn and understand English in a different way from how a child learns it. Okay, and then our grammar textbooks are not dealing with the communication aspect. So that is what I'll talk about a lot more when I discuss the roadmap. But thanks for having me here, Ramanuj, and thanks everybody for being here. This is for lawyers, law students, Safin, and everybody, like anybody else, any other professional who's interested in learning about this.
So
Yeah.
what is important is that when I look at my own journey to learn English, so my struggle was different because I studied at a vernacular medium school, and nobody at my home ever spoke English, right? So I was starting from zero essentially to learn to speak English, and not only speak, write, and everything, right? And I'm going to tell you about that. But 𝗂𝗄𝗳𝗃, it's quite a contrasting situation. He went to English medium schools throughout, so there was certain level of proficiency in English that comes from that. But at the same time, even if you think that you are able to speak English or you are able to write English, and this is somehow enough, that you don't need to know more than that, right? That is not true. There is still a lot more that you can improve your communication in, right? So if you think that, oh, I know enough, that's a very dangerous situation. You really need to think again, because you probably need to learn a lot more than what you currently know. And I mean, we're going to talk about what and how, like what exactly you need to know. Even if you can speak English well, you can write English well, you don't make grammar mistakes, your vocabulary is good, there is even still there's a lot more you can learn and a lot more you can improve in your communication, in your legal English communication. So we're going to talk about that. So this is a step by step 12 months guide on how to go from beginner to English, beginner in English to professional level. Okay, so important, there will be a surprise free gift for all those who stay back till the end. It will be a free class. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what more at the end. Remind me at the end. To only those who will be staying till the end will get it, others will not give it. In 2010, I was on the wait list of NUJ's national admission test, right? Oops, I don't know why I wrote 2010. It's 2005. Okay, I was on the wait list of NUJ's national admission test, and I could get in. I chose not to go. Okay, I chose not to go. Why? Can you guess? Okay, I gave the exam again in 2006. This is a typo. 2006. This time I ranked second in the test and joined NUJS. Okay, what did I do in between? Right? Why would I not join in 1 year and join in the next? Okay, so what do you think I did in between? Anybody can guess what did I do in between? So between 2005 and 6, what was I doing? Can you guess? Improved what? You worked for English, as you are not pro in English. That's correct. I learned English. Okay. So I basically spent the year learning English apart from preparing for law entrances. Actually, the biggest focus was on learning English, because when I wrote the entrance exam, I realized that I don't know much English, and it is going to be a big problem for me to succeed as a lawyer, to succeed in law school, to do all the things I want to do. Wouldn't be possible if my English is going to be like the way it was. Because when I got through the exam the first time because my GK was very good, my logical reasoning was very good, but the English I could barely read. I could not even understand, right? I couldn't even understand what was written in the questions. I could barely understand the questions there. Still, I managed to pass, but I realized that this is not how I want to join law college. I want to learn before I join. And I think it was a great decision. I wanted to give a year to learning English, not the entire time, but I dedicated several hours a day to learning English. Okay. And I was from a Bengali medium school. We started learning English in grade 6. Okay. Normally, whichever board you are, probably you started learning English when you were in primary school. Yes or no? Right? But for me, I never, I was not even learning English in primary school. In class 6 they start teaching us English. So I scored, and this was like the communist government in Bengal. They had this policy that you should be learning in Bengali language and you should not have to learn English. So they've made English like compulsory only from class 6, and the level of English we were taught was much less than anywhere else. So I scored well in English. Like in exam बोलने का है तो स्कोर तो अच्छा ही है मतलब एग्जाम में, बट I the knowledge of English was very poor, and the standard in our board was so low that I could not even read all the questions properly when I was writing law entrance tests. Okay. From there, in 1 year, right, because I gave myself that 1 year, I fixed my grammar, I enhanced my vocabulary, and I actually memorized one Webster's collegiate dictionary. It's like a dictionary I took because I didn't know what to do. I don't recommend you do it, but I back then started memorizing a dictionary thinking that this will solve my problem of English vocabulary, right? Then I worked on speed, on my reading speed. I worked on comprehension. And most importantly, I managed to teach myself to think in English and dream in English. Like at a point, you start even dreaming in English, right? So if you are not, if you have not grown up thinking in English, maybe you think in Hindi, maybe you think in Bengali, Marathi, whichever language you think in. Now, if you're always translating from that language to English, then your English will not be good. You will be slow. You will not be able to think on your feet. You will not be able to answer questions quickly. Basically, you'll not be a good speaker until you can think in that language, or you'll, even for that matter, writing. So you want to learn to think in that language if you want to be really good at it, and that's very important. So I was still not able to speak in English at that time. That would take longer to achieve. By the time I was in 5th year, though, in law in NUJS, I was able to argue in a moot court in English fluently. For the first time, I argued fluently. In fourth year, I did vis Hong Kong. This is a 𝗰𝗂𝗳𝗃 vis moot. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a very famous moot. And I went to the Hong Kong version, representing my university in my fourth year, after getting selected through a very competitive internal rounds. Okay, but I knew I was getting through due to my superior arguments and my research skills, right? While my speaking held my rankings back, I was struggling to speak. Although imagine your knowledge of law is good, your research is very good, it is better than other people, but because you cannot articulate properly, your ranks are not as good as somebody else. What a sad situation, right? So it was holding my rankings back. Even for my team, when I actually went to speak at 𝗰𝗂𝗳𝗃 vis moot in Hong Kong, representing my university, even there I was a liability because I was not as good a speaker as other people. And, that's not a good thing at all, right? But I knew it will change. And within 1 year, by the time when I was my fifth year, I was able to change it. Okay. In another 2 years, I got invited back to NUJS to teach in a summer school on human rights, teaching other lawyers how to develop their public speaking skill. By then, I was touring the country. I have traveled across the country, giving talks and workshops on law at various forums from IITs, NITs, National Institute of Technologies, ISB, International School of Business. It's very prestigious business school, top ranked business school in India. And even in TEDx talk at IIM Ranchi, I delivered. And it's not just one. I have done like many of them. Okay, and like sometimes in with audiences of 300, 400 people, where I'm doing a 3-hour workshop alone. Okay, and so that within 2 years of graduating from college. So imagine where I was not able to speak at all. I was struggling. From there, this happened so fast. So it's not like, if you told any of my batchmates when I was in third year of law school or fourth year of law school that I'll be doing this 2-3 years down the line, they will simply not believe me. They'll say, what nonsense, this is not possible. So I have gone through that entire journey, and it was always my dream to create a course or a curriculum to teach what I had learned over the years to others, right? Anybody who's struggling like me to learn English, because I struggled so much because I had to figure out the entire thing on my own, right? As I saw how so many law students and lawyers struggle with English and have to put up with diminished career opportunities because they cannot learn English quickly enough. Okay, so they are not able to learn English quickly enough, and because of that, they are putting up with diminished career opportunities, right? Have you ever experienced this yourself? Any of you, tell me in the chat, have you ever experienced something like this, that that you are good, like I told you, example of me, that my arguments are better, my research is better, but I am not getting the best ranks. I still made it into the international team of NUJS and represented NUJS but not doing as good as I could or others can or others are doing, right? It's a very difficult situation, but I'm just saying that I have been there where you are now, and it took me within 2 years I totally turned it around, and you can do that as well, right? So I'm going to tell you today how to do that. Okay, today's session is about that. I spoke to many English teachers over the years in the hope that they will help me to build an English course for lawyers, right? So I didn't want to do it myself alone, because I wanted to get professional English teachers to also, tell me how to do it right. But it never became a reality. I never found the right person. Teaching English and teaching legal English are two different things, because you cannot teach lawyers English without teaching them the intricacies of law and legal language, right? And teaching English is not enough. It is important to teach communication. How many of you have gone to spoken English classes or to some English teacher but still did not get what you were expecting? You were expecting a solution. Maybe you went to British Council or whatever different coaching institute, and then you are done with it. And you certainly learned a few things, but what you need to learn in terms of English, legal English as a lawyer, what you need breakthrough, you're not getting that. Has it happened to you? It has. I have spoken to at least 100 people who have exactly that experience, right? They thought, okay, they will buy an expensive course from IELTS or British Council or whatever, right? It never worked for them. Why? Because as a lawyer, first you need to learn legal English and not just English. And then even English is not enough. You need to learn communication, right? Where is the next slide? So I finally met this person, a language teacher, 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧, okay, a polymath who speaks and teaches many languages, not just English. So she teaches like languages like Pashto, Espanol, Italian, Japanese, apart from English. And she has been teaching, across the world. She has been teaching business executives in English to business executives in Korea, Middle East, and she had really unique style of teaching and really unique stuff. So her teaching methodology appealed to me, and together we came up with a unique legal English communication course. Okay. So it took us 6 months to work before we could launch something. It has been how long, 𝗲𝗳𝗃𝗧, how long we launched the course? I think more than, but it took us
around June, July last year.
Right. And since, to launch it, I started working somewhere in December, January, and by June, almost 6 months, I was able to launch it. Okay. So I thought it will be a great idea to share with you all how we teach English over 12 months, right? And it may be possible for some of you to follow this at home on your own, right? Of course, we are there to help you, right? Her name is 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧, 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧, 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧. So of course, if you need any help, we are here to help you, right? So we have a course, but forget about the course for now. I want you to focus on what I'm going to tell you for the next 2 hours so that you can learn exactly what we do, and then you can replicate it at home and you can learn on your own, right? So let's jump into creating a step-by-step plan for you so that you can follow for the next 12 months to elevate your English to a level that nobody can deny any opportunity to you due to lack of proficiency in English, right? So what is your goal? Your goal is not that I will learn vocabulary. It's not that I will be speaking, blah, 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 public speaking. All that is fine. But goal is that as a person, nobody can deny you any opportunity because of any lack of proficiency in English. Is that a goal we can all agree on? Can we help to learn English for company secretary? Yeah, it is very similar to law. So it's hardly different. So we can help you also. That's not a problem. But yeah, so we agree on this goal that as a lawyer, you should not miss out on any opportunity in this country because of lack of knowledge or international opportunities. I've been talking a lot about international opportunities also. You should not be missing out on any international opportunity also as a lawyer. It's for any other reason, that's a different thing, but not because of lack of English knowledge, not because of lack of proficiency in English. That is the target, right? Okay. So next, 𝗲𝗳𝗃𝗧 is going to jump in and he's going to lead you through different levels of proficiency you will go through while improving your English. Okay. It will not happen that you will reach the peak proficiency directly, right? So 𝗲𝗳𝗃𝗧 is going to describe 5 different stages through which you will pass and how will you reach where. This is the whole, this is what 𝗲𝗳𝗃𝗧 is going to tell you now. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Thanks.
Yes, no, maybe. Are you guys ready? Tell me in the chat, are you ready?
Say ready. Everybody say ready if you are ready.
Go ahead. Okay, 𝗲𝗳𝗃𝗧, you start.
Okay. So my screen is shared with all of you. You want me to speak exclusively in English or you want a mix of English and Hindi? Don't say any other language. I'm not ready with any other language. I can speak purely in English or English and Hindi mix. Okay, a lot of people want me to speak exclusively in English. So I will speak in English, a little bit of Hindi. Okay. Okay, so we are going to discuss what is the roadmap to build your proficiency in English communication as a young lawyer. English roadmap. Why are we talking about a roadmap? Because you cannot do this like in a crash course. To if you learn, you cannot expect to achieve this, through a magic pill or in 1 week or 1 month. Yes, Prashant. Use this roadmap right now. I'll tell you how to use it. Please identify where you stand currently. Okay. When I explain, I will show you 5 phases where you may be at, and you use this to tell me where you are currently at. Okay. Now, our students aim to jump to the next level. There are 5 levels. Okay. They will aim to jump in our courses from the existing level within 3 to 4 months to the next level. Okay. By performing the exercises that we offer every week to them and with guidance from the faculty. Okay. Now, how do you know that you are on track on this journey? Okay. You will need to start creating content and sharing it in public. When you are learning, see, all your learning is happening inside your mind. But how do you know that I have learned something? How can I validate that? It is very important, and in your initial phase कि वो reinforcement हो. There should be reinforcement that I have learned. I've gone from step 1 to step 2. Okay, I need to validate that, right? And this will take time. So every day I must start to create and share content in public. What does this do for you? When people engage with your content, respond, when they like it, when they interact with you, it will provide you with excitement. It will create a feedback loop. What is a feedback loop? आपने पोस्ट किया, आपको किसी और ने कुछ रिस्पॉन्स किया, ओके, उससे कॉन्वर्जेशन स्टार्ट हो जाता है. तो दैट क्रिएट्स एन एक्साइटमेंट फॉर यू. ओके, इट हेल्प्स यू टू ऑल्सो मेक अ हैबिट. एक बार आपको ये अच्छा लगा तो आप उस एक्साइटमेंट को करने के लिए, जनरेट करने के लिए बार बार ये करोगे. यू विल रिपीट दिस अगेन एंड अगेन बिकॉज of the excitement, to find and create the excitement again and again. It also builds a track record for you, because यहाँ पर you are not going to practice school grammar textbook English. You will use your English skills to write what is professionally relevant to you. So how do you start building your track record? Step 1 is आप किसी भी level पे हो, you may be a beginner, okay, but you must start building your track record by creating content simultaneously as you improve English proficiency. English proficiency improve करते हुए आप content creation start कर दीजिए. It doesn't matter if you are a beginner. Don't wait to get to the next level. If you are not a student of the diploma in English communication course, it's not a problem, because you can still use this roadmap to identify कि where you stand. आप identify कर सकते हो कि कहाँ पर अभी हो, और ये आपको कौन सी opportunities मिलेंगी अगर आप next level पे जाते हो, उसके लिए you can use it. Okay, you can practice this at home also, and maybe you can go quite far on your own without any external support. So you can use the roadmap to identify where you stand, what's available at the next level, and even proceed further to the next level without external support. ये भी possible है. What is the first level? The first level is beginner level 1. Okay, beginner level 1. Now ये जो diagnosis है, इसका मतलब है how to identify that you are at beginner level 1. Okay, you can understand simple English sentences, reading and oral. Okay, auditory, you can hear and listen and understand simple English sentences, and your oral communication is limited to basic conversations. How are you? I'm fine. How is the weather? It is very cold. Okay, ऐसे. But you experience a lack of confidence in formal scenarios. Business meeting में client के साथ email करना in a business meeting, or emailing a client, or talking to a company, a corporate client, writing to a CFO or a business owner, a foreigner, a senior lawyer who practices at the High Court or the Supreme Court, okay, or before judges when you're arguing in English, okay, especially at High Court, Supreme Court, and tribunals. Even though and many times it will happen that you may be very smart, you may identify that the other side's argument has this problem, but because of lack of confidence, you are frequently unable to point it out. So you are right, but your articulation is not good enough to point it out owing to lack of confidence. Okay, or there's a block in expressing what you are thinking. तो आपने सोच तो लिया, but stop हो गए कि अरे कैसे बताऊं. Okay, that happens to you. Your written communication is not comprehensive. Usme there are grammatical errors, and your intention is often not communicated to the other side. तो आप बोलना कुछ चाहते हो और आपका इंटेंशन कुछ और होता है और एक्चुअली राइटिंग से कुछ और कम्युनिकेट हो जाता है. A lot of people misunderstand what you wrote because there are ambiguities in your writing. Okay. Several important aspects get missed out in your communication, whether it is in email, contracts, petitions, or client memos. This is the usual interaction that a lawyer has, right? You will write an email, you will draft a contract, you will prepare a court petition or a client memo. Now, this is due to underdeveloped English language skills. Okay. Your reading speed is very slow, around 200 words per minute or less for comprehension. Okay. Like you are reading at 200 minutes words per minute or less. So what happens is that as a lawyer, you are reading every day, you have to read so much content, right? So many texts, judgments, updates, your client, other sides documents, clients documents, big contracts. So it takes you a lot of time to read and understand all these documents, especially case laws, contracts, and documents filed by the other side. Your typing speed may also be very slow. So what happens is that every day it takes you a huge amount of time to complete tasks. Managing your schedule, everyday schedule, and work life is difficult. Also, at the same time, you're not being able to convert enough clients. So there's a lot of struggle. Okay. You do not have confidence to create any content or post on social media. So you experience ki mera koi brand nahi hai. I don't have a brand. Nobody knows me. I'm still a very junior lawyer. Why will people give me work? This is very heightened because there's no profile that you've built for yourself. You don't post content, people don't engage with you. Okay, so how many of you are at this stage? I just want to know quickly, how many of you could identify that yes, I am at this stage, that one or more things that I wrote actually applied to you? Say me. Okay. Okay, great. A lot of you are here. Okay, there is no average state. Okay, tell me who is in beginner level 1. Great. Very good. Good work. Okay, good that you identified it. Okay, yeah, if you're cringing over your posts for bad grammar, you are at beginner level 1. All right, so I'm going to tell you what you need to work on. Okay, listen to it very closely. If needed, make a note or take a screenshot of what I am saying and what is on the slide. Okay, you will need to work on English grammar every day to learn new aspects. The problem with English grammar textbooks is if you go into a textbook, you will not know, you will need to learn 10 things to write a single sentence. And reading that textbook and doing the exercises will itself take you 4 5 months. If you can hold your attention as an adult, we have such a big, if something doesn't apply to us, we are unable to stick it out. So you will need to learn English grammar every day, something new that you can apply and share on your social media, or in a way that you can practice writing. So you can write maybe one paragraph of an article on an area of your interest. Area of your interest is not today, it's not going to be on your essays that you wrote in school, right? It is going to be on your practice. Like it could be on litigation, it could be on contracts, corporate work, like that. Then you will need to start improving your vocabulary every day. So you will need to learn a few new words every day. Okay. Practice expressing deeper ideas and have end-to-end communication in English. So do not revert to any other language in the middle of the conversation. Okay. And try to have more complex conversations in English, preferably in writing. So if you are talking on WhatsApp, something is difficult to explain, what do people do? They get on the call and they say it, right? Because when you write a message, there are chances that it is misinterpreted. How many of you have experienced that? How many of you have experienced that you write something on WhatsApp and it gets misinterpreted, right? Now, when you have something more complex to say, you must here practice the conversation on in writing to communicate deeper ideas. You can write on WhatsApp, SMS, you can write in a Word document, you can write on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, later you can practice creating videos as well based on this, but for now, written English we start with. Okay, avoid all short form language. No short forms, no in SMSs, no colloquial explanations, no colloquial expressions. Okay, create a peer group. This is very important. पता है क्यों? क्योंकि if you are making mistakes at this stage and somebody judges you, you are going to feel very fragile, and you will feel hurt, you may feel offended, and then you may not take your next step to improve your English. ऐसा होता है? Does it happen to you? Does it happen to you? For how many people it happens that किसी ने आपका मजाक उड़ाया क्योंकि आपका pronunciation गलत था, तो आपका confidence कम हो गया. सो जब मैं मुंबई में था ना, कॉन्वेंट स्कूल में, सेंट मैरीज में था मैं, तो मेरे फ्रेंड्स हिंदी और मराठी वर्ड्स को भी इंग्लिश में कोई स्पेसिफिक तरीके से प्रोनाउंस करते थे. तो हिंदी में हम लोग सबब्स को बांद्रा बोलते हैं, मराठी में वांद्रे बोलते हैं. ओके, बांद्रा एज अ सबब. ओके, तो इंग्लिश में वो लोग बांद्रा एक स्टाइल से बोलते थे, और फिर मेरा मजाक उड़ाते थे कि मैंने बांद्रा गलत प्रोनाउंस किया. और देन आई रियलाइज कि ये तो इंग्लिश का वर्ड भी नहीं है, तो इसका क्या फिक्स प्रोनाउंसिएशन हुआ. But it insulted me, it hurt me, okay, made me feel unsafe. तो अभी क्या करना है? You have to create a group of people, at least 4-5 people, जहां पर आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो, और जहां पर आप गलती करोगे तो आपको जज नहीं किया जाएगा. तो हमारे कोर्स में जैसे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना हुआ है, कम्युनिटी बना हुआ है, जहां पर लोग प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, डाउट्स पूछते हैं. ठीक है. So you can create a peer group, a group of 4-5 people with whom you can safely share.
lot of people are expressing they're not comfortable with Hindi at all. So anything you say in Hindi also explain in English.
Okay. So did you all understand the Bandra analogy? I used the wrong pronunciation of Bandra, which as per people who spoke English in South Bombay English style, okay, and I was made fun of, and I felt horrible. Right? So you need at least 4-5 people with whom you can learn together, who are supportive. If you make mistakes, it's not a problem. Where you make mistakes, you are still encouraged to try and practice. Then now it is very important to immerse yourself in intensive learning. So familiarize yourself with difficult texts. Read texts on jurisprudence, philosophy, case laws, contracts, big contracts. Try to read and understand what is happening for some time every day. So this is not going to give you immediate results in your practice. If you do this for a week, to the next week your practice won't improve. You will not earn 10,000 rupees more. Okay, this is going to show results over a period of time. But right now, please start reading at least for 30 minutes some texts like this every day, some kind of text like this. And why jurisprudence? Why philosophy? Look at any detailed court judgment, constitutional law, criminal law, any long court judgment. As a lawyer, you are always reading long judgments where the judges are citing various texts of jurisprudence and philosophy. Plato, Socrates, they are doing a lot of this citation of philosophers. So it's very important to be familiar with this. Even jurists texts like Austin, Bentham, all of them, okay, John Rawls. So everything will be new. You may not understand things. Doesn't matter. You go by the clock. 30 minutes, I'm going to read. You read. It doesn't matter. You read at 20 words per minute, but you focus and you read. Okay. In reality, you will have at least 100-150 words. Okay. 𝗴𝗂𝗶𝗶, just set a timer and you read. It doesn't matter. You dig it. That's not a problem. Okay. Start writing as much as possible in correct English. Okay. So at this moment, you don't have to write a 1,500 word article, but make sure you write a couple of paragraphs every day. And anything that you need to write, make a practice ki I will write it in English. Always emails, social media content, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Always practice that. Let me practice. Take it as an opportunity to write in English. Right now, guys, no improvement in your English skills is happening at this stage. Okay. What is happening is that you are creating the environment to learn safely for the remaining period of your learning. Okay. This is currently we are trying to get to class 10 level English grammar and writing skills. Okay. But we are applying it to your practical context of work, so that you are not writing like class 10 essays, but you're writing legal posts that lawyers can use to communicate with prospective clients. Following till here, we are not dealing with advanced communication here. So say yes if you are following till here. Contemporary English courses now, there are a lot of courses in the market right now. How are they designed? a lot of English courses are on spoken English. Okay, because a lot of jobs in the market, like entry level jobs, are just requiring spoken English skills. Okay, if you are, let's say, driving an Uber, you do not have to write in English, you have to speak in English sometimes with clients, not even always, right? So a lot of times you are only focusing on spoken English, and that works. Okay, so and that is basic spoken English. But as a lawyer, can you restrict yourself to basic spoken English? Some courses focus on basic written communication as well. You can write probably sentences of 10 to 20 words, but simple sentences. Okay, problem is, again, as a lawyer, you have to get to the highest level of English, right? So they are not designed to enable you to build your credibility and track record as a lawyer. Also, the situations they talk about are not applicable to legal work. They are far, far, far simpler. Okay, so your next breakthrough. Okay, how many of you got some insight on what you need to do next? A lot of you identified that I am at beginner level, right? So how many of you got some insight on how to go forward from here? Say I got say me if you got an insight. Okay, great. Now, this is your next breakthrough. Okay, listen to it very carefully. You will need to learn how to read and comprehend short contracts, notices of various kinds, petitions. You will need to write more detailed emails. Okay, you will need to write more comprehensive advice for clients. When clients give you work to write a memo or give you research that, okay, give me research on this. A lot of times clients say that I want some research on international data protection laws. Okay, and I need an Indian lawyer to help me with that research. So if your email, if your memo, if your research note is not comprehensive, that's a problem. Sorry. So at this stage, you need to write more comprehensive emails. You need to practice that. That's going to be your next breakthrough. What will it do? It will improve your self confidence drastically. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to share, out of all what I said, everybody who's at beginner level 1, quickly tell me what was your insight. Okay, we'll come to all of your questions. Okay, feel free to write in the Q&A box also, so that the chats and the questions can be separated, because when I'm asking you questions and I'm asking you to say me, yes, all of that, then the questions will disappear from chat, so you write those in Q&A. Okay, if you are uncomfortable in speaking all of that, we'll work on all of that, don't worry. Okay, just stay with me till here. Okay, so share one insight that you got till today, till now, for those who identified yourself at beginner level 1. And I'm going to go to beginner level 2 now. Okay, okay, what does beginner level 2 look like? You are better than level 1, but you frequently hit roadblocks. What are these roadblocks? Let's see. You can have impromptu oral conversations. You know what is impromptu? Immediate, on the spot. Okay, you can have oral communication spontaneously without learning, thinking. You can have it very comfortably. You can participate in conversations on new subjects. Okay, without mugging up, without learning from a script, without memorizing lines. But you make errors and mistakes while speaking, and you are aware of it. Okay, but you can have conversation, but it is erroneous. All right, so you're not able to explain abstract ideas in English, though you can answer a question. Okay, so do you get the difference? Subtle difference. You can articulate your thoughts orally to your peers, and peers meaning to other lawyers, to to people in your family, friends, relatives, in your network, to clients, all of them. Okay, in informal scenarios. But in professional scenarios, what happens? You are hit by nervousness and you fumble. Yeah, in professional scenarios you will fumble. So some of you may identify some traits of beginner level 2 also. You can read short documents written in simple English with full comprehension, contracts, petitions, and some case laws. Okay, but they have to be short, like 8 pages, 10 pages, that much you can read. Sometimes, when you have to read a long case, it takes you a lot of time, but only exceptionally you read that. So what happens is that you understand, if it's a difficult thing for you to read a big contract or a big case, and a client gives you work, then you will struggle with it, and your output will not be as good as it can possibly be. Your drafting skills now have improved, but you experience difficulty in drafting bigger documents which are exceeding 5 to 6 pages, because either it is inaccurate, there is some mistake in your drafting, page 2 may be inconsistent to page 8, something that you wrote in page 3 will not be okay with, will not fly with page 7. Those kind of things happen frequently. Okay. With longer and complex documents, your reading is difficult. You struggle with reading them, and your comprehension decreases. So you can understand a 6 page case easily, but you struggle with understanding a 25-page case. Long judgments, jurisprudence textbooks, academic articles, long legal opinions sent by law firms, or large high value contracts. These are the documents that you struggle to read and understand. It is difficult also to identify central idea in complex documents. What do I mean by this? If there is a, imagine you read 8 pages of a book by John Rawls. Now, what is his central idea in that, behind what he's saying? If a judgment has, you've read 10 pages of a 20-page judgment, what is the issue that they're talking about? If somebody has written a long email to you, what is the real problem that they have? What is it they're explaining? You will find difficulty in understanding that. Okay, and you may have to read and reread a document to understand it. Communication of a complex idea in writing is very difficult. It takes a long time to write things down. So if you write an article in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, and you have to spend like 5 hours every day to do it, then that means you may be in this phase. Okay. Then certain communications to a client or a judge will land differently from how you intend. So you want to protect your client's interest, but somehow you realize that you're saying something very legally true, but the judge gets offended. Okay, that can happen from time to time. You are unable to identify the repercussions or implications of an argument or an amendment, okay, or a regulatory clarification. Clarification says X, and 5 or 6 implications may follow, but you may only be able to identify one or two. Okay, so that means that there will be gaps in how much you are able to pick up, and so the advice you give your clients, that will be not full but partly, it will be very partial. Okay. Then in the courtroom, your performance would be slightly better, but only in situations where the matter is simple. Clear argument is there, clear case law is there, black and white facts are there. There you will be very confident. Black and white facts, good evidence, clear case law where needed, you're very good. But in other situations, you will struggle. You will not be having the ability to invent arguments in your client's interest. Appellate court work, high court work, uh, Supreme Court work, all of that will be difficult. Briefing senior lawyers will be very difficult. Okay. And where the law is gray, you will struggle. You will not be able to create a persuasive argument. You will do some filing, but the argument will not be persuasive. If you are an independent practitioner, what will happen at this stage is that you will say yes to everything the client wants, everything they come to you with. Why? Because right now self-confidence is still on the lower side. So you don't want to lose the client. But what will happen is you'll say yes to everything, and even things you can't provide, and and there will be mistakes in setting expectations for clients. How likely is it that I will, if a client asks, how likely is it that I will win this case, or that how likely is it that the other side will accept this? You will not be able to clearly say, that this is how strong this strategy is. I can't guarantee it, but these are the past few times it has worked, and if this happens then it will not work, but in other scenarios I'm expecting it to work. Like that, you will not be able to explain. You will struggle to do that. Okay, so you will say yes, and then you will struggle to deliver in certain occasions, and you will find out that despite being innocent and hardworking, clients will be frustrated with you, and you may be frustrated with yourself. Okay. Limiting your scope of work is going to be proving challenging. So when a client says, I want a retainer and you want to do everything for me, all my legal work, 20,000, you will not be able to exclude. You will not be able to say, okay, I'll only do 10 hours of work. These are the first few things you need. And for any litigation work, I may need to, or for trademark filings, I may need to brief a local counsel or an IP an IP lawyer, or for incorporating your company, I need a CS also. Their costs will be extra additional. Their out of pocket costs and filing fees will be additional. All that you will struggle to do. Okay. So again, that means your profitability will suffer. You will overpromise and underdeliver. If you are an in-house counsel, what will happen is that in-house counsels, meaning lawyers working inside the company, they have to coordinate with business teams, a lot of tech team, sales team, uh, CEO, co-founders. They have to coordinate with them. So if you are an in-house counsel, lack of communication skills will lead you to frustration, because when you coordinate with other teams, there will be a problem. Sometimes there will be gaps in communication. You will not be able to communicate exactly what you need, so they will do something else from what you need them to do. There will be a risk or a consequence on the company. Maybe there will be potential tax violation, potential violation of another law, all of that. And there may be mistakes in allocation of responsibility. You may say that the sales head should make sure that he doesn't overpromise this, and you will realize that actually something else has happened. Okay, you will have mistakes. You will tell the salesperson that you give the commercials, I'll do the legal, but you will find that something else has happened in the outcome because of inaccurate allocation of responsibility. So you're improving right now, but you're being stretched on all fronts. It's like you're being pulled in all directions. You're experiencing frustration, exhaustion, all of that. So how many of you are at this stage, beginner level 2? Guys, don't go. There's a special gift at the end for you, surprise gift. At least see the roadmap. Yeah, it's in your own interest. Okay, beginner level 2. Super. How many of you are in a mixed state? Some parts of beginner level 1, some parts of beginner level 2. Technically, if even one thing from beginner level 1 applies, then you're actually at beginner level 1. Okay. I'm telling you a simple rule. If you have 2-3 items of beginner level 1, or even one item of beginner level 1 and the rest of beginner level 2, that means you're not fully at beginner level 2. You're still in the transitioning phase. So your real level is beginner level 1. Okay. Bianca, we are coming to other levels. Now the breakthrough here, you need to be able to think and communicate fully in English. Okay, thinking in English. So we think in a language. It could be our mother tongue. It could be any other language. You need to develop an ability here when you're speaking in English to just think in English and communicate fully in it. So you can't think in your mother tongue, then think, acha, let's translate, and then translate it and speak. Okay. And this will give you immediate benefits in your practice. What do you need to work on at this stage? Again, make notes now. What do you need to work on? Continue your work on grammar. Practice writing more as much as possible in correct English. Email, social media content. Look which tools I'm talking about. Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Okay, practice writing there. Record yourself speaking on interviews every day. So if you have stage fright, public speaking, nervousness, anxiety, practice is the only way out. So record yourself speaking on videos every day. Then you watch those videos. Okay, and continue to do it. Total immersion practice is recommended. What is total immersion? Completely dive into everything English. Okay, so that you are experiencing a full exposure to it. Post on social media uh, notes or things you have written at least once every day to build a habit. Building a habit is the key here. So once a week is not good. Why? Because there's no habit happening. When you do it every day, your brain starts to register that I need to do this work on a daily basis. That's the habit. Okay. Once a week, once a month, twice a week, thrice a week, alternate days, it doesn't create a habit. Okay. Create videos on topics related to law. This will enable you to communicate more difficult ideas. Makes sense? So if you're a litigator, create videos on topics related to your practice or the challenges that your target audience is facing. Okay. Practice speed reading. We taught you a speed reading technique for those of you who visited us in the last workshop. Okay. Last week. Practice speed reading to improve your reading speed. Start writing a newsletter on legal updates. You may not be able to finish it. Okay. But that's not a problem. Start writing a newsletter. Write at least one article per month. The important point is complete one article per month here. Okay. And we will support you in publishing if it meets the right quality standards. That's not a problem. We'll help you with publishing on 𝗊𝗋𝗋's blog. Engage with users who comment on your content. Again, this is going to create excitement. Somebody comments, on your content, you'll be super excited. Somebody is senior, somebody is a law firm partner or principal associate, senior associate. You'll really enjoy that kind of conversation. Timeline for this is 9 to 16 weeks. Okay. So if you are at from beginner level 1 to beginner level 2, you will take 9 to 16 weeks to fully transition. That's about 4 months. Okay. Intermediate level. So how many of you, so everybody who was at beginner level 1 and beginner level 2, share one item that you learned that you can practice, okay, on chat. Now, I'm waiting for your response, but I'm going to go on to intermediate level in 10 seconds. Share one item that you learned till now. Okay, making videos, Vinay, great. Who else? Writing articles every month, very good. Thinking and speaking in English, super. Creating a legal newsletter, very good. Read new content, great. Making video and writing newsletter, super. You can use your phone to do that, okay? Posting on social media, great. Intermediate level. What is the diagnosis? How do you know you are at intermediate level? Your legal knowledge has started improving right now. You know why? Because your reading speed has improved. So you are consuming more content, reading more. You have more comprehension also, and you've got some writing practice. You can read and assimilate more about regulatory developments and industry trends than your peers. So other lawyers are not reading as much as you can read and assimilate. So you will gradually begin to see that you are becoming smarter, quicker, okay, more alert, more confident in speaking. You're able to enjoy the benefits of superior knowledge and skills at work by communicating better. Okay, so you are actually finding benefits. You will get appreciation from judges, lawyers, and your clients. That's what's going to happen at this stage. Your social media profile and content by now will start gaining traction. It takes time for social media and your online blogs to gain some traction. Okay, it doesn't happen in a day. Over a period of time, people start to interact with it, and then the social media channels or Google search will actually index that. It'll show it on more people's feeds. So it takes that time. Legal fraternity is engaging with your content by now. Some young lawyers and law students follow you. How many of you want to get to this stage, by the way? Does this sound exciting? People following you, your social media profiles and content gaining traction. How many of you like this? Yeah, enjoyable. It'll be great for you. Okay. Some seniors have also started to notice your online activity and they appreciate your enthusiasm. This will be rewarded by people wanting to reach out to you if they want to refer a matter in your area of law. So if you work in the sessions court and a high court lawyer or another trial lawyer from the lower courts needs an assistance for sessions court work, they will say, okay, you do it. Okay, that will happen. Okay. Some seniors have started to notice your online activity and appreciate your enthusiasm. You're writing often and your content is getting noticed and appreciated by your target audience and getting published by noteworthy publication. So people are appreciating it, noticing it, and also publications are taking it up. Online publications, offline publications, wherever you want to do this. Okay. 𝗴𝗂𝗶𝗶, you're saying this is ideal. Satyam is saying that I am talking about consequences that would happen if you don't speak English. So guys, I'm being real. Okay, I'm being very real. There are pros and cons in every situation. And obviously, beginner level, since you don't know a lot of English, the reality is not going to sound very nice, right? Okay. If you are not going to be accepting of reality and you will react to it, then it will not help you. Okay. Potential clients are influenced by your articles and they reach out to you for legal assistance. So these are the good things that will happen to you. You can draft commercial contracts, notices, and occasionally secure independent legal work. So if you're working in a job as a junior, you can do a lot of decent work on commercial contracts and notices. Once in a while, since people are reaching out to you, you can work independently. You are able to convert those matters into paid work. However, your independent income may not be very high because you're not very good at this moment with conversion part. Again, because of communication skills. I'll come to that. If you are an in-house counsel, your collaboration with other teams will have improved. So, business team, sales team, tech team, CEO, co-founder, you are having perfect, like, what you're saying, that's what they're understanding. They're able to communicate to you. You are able to communicate to them. So your confidence will definitely go up, right? Now you're contemplating that let's hire juniors now. Time to ramp up. So as an independent practitioner or in-house counsel, you'll want to build a small team. How many of you are here, by the way? Anybody here? Anybody at this level? Very good. Okay. You are at this level only if nothing that I said in beginner level 1 and 2 applies to you. Okay. If nothing that I said in beginner level 1 and 2 applies to you, and what I said here applies to you, then you're at this level. Otherwise, you're at the previous level. Okay. Okay. So, for how many of you getting here would be a breakthrough? So, beginner level 1 to 2, I understood. From beginner level 2 to intermediate. Okay. If it's a breakthrough for you, let me know. And I'm telling you what the breakthrough would be. You will need to work on securing more client mandates and producing results reliably. Is that worth it? Say yes if you think that breakthrough is worth it. Okay, how many of you want more client mandates, want to produce more success for your clients? Clients will, right now, they need to recognize you as their trusted advisor, okay, for more mandates. So that needs to be done. You're not there yet. At intermediate, you're not there yet. Your writing will persuade, impact, and win over people to your point of view. You're not there yet, but this is what's your next level. What do you need to work on? Increase the frequency of your online activity, because now it's easier to write. So you can write faster. What took you 3 hours to write earlier now takes 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So what does that mean? You have more time available to you. You can write more. If you could write 2 paragraphs in a day, you can write 1500 words in a day now. Okay. So you are in a position to increase your online activity, and you obviously you will write around law, and you will voice your opinions about various developments in a way that makes you an expert. Okay, improve your online profile and track record. This is the time to accelerate. Okay, push the pedal, fifth gear. Okay, pursue public speaking opportunities. You've been making videos in the other stages, right? So now you're practiced, you've seen your videos. Time to go out in the public, take webinars, take guest lectures, start your own YouTube channel or your podcast. Learn storytelling. This is very important. No good idea, no good argument goes without storytelling. I'll tell you an example. Also, when we were, I was working on a matter in a law firm 2011 in corporate law firm in trilegal, and we had to brief a senior counsel for it. And the senior associate from our firm, he made a very big diagram, complicated diagram, one pager, a very complicated matter reduced to a one pager through a flowchart, gave it to the senior counsel. Then he sat and explained for 10 minutes. The senior counsel said 2 lines. Okay. He said, "This is what I will use to get the attention of the court." And that was a story. Okay. He used a simple story of how, of what will be helpful for India's economic growth. So storytelling is very important skill to win and win over others to your point of view, and to communicate a complex idea. Continue working on your reading skills. You need to get to 600, 900, 1000 words per minute. Okay. So keep working on that. Your objection handling skills need improvement right now because you're prone to reactivation and triggers when potential clients and seniors question your expertise. So what happened right now? I was talking about beginner level 1. Somebody felt that I'm giving them a sad picture. Okay. So we may feel like that. So reactivation and triggers happen. And when you're talking to potential clients, there it may be even like clients will say, "Why should I give you work? What is your experience? Why should I not go to a law firm?" Okay. All of that will reactivate you. And if you are able to successfully handle these questions, so these questions will come time after time. You handle twice properly, third time it will come again. 5 years down the line, same question will be asked, but you cannot afford to be frustrated no matter how good you are. Okay, so that is where you will need to learn how to handle these objections. It's a function of communication and English language. Okay, this will enhance your conversion skills, client conversion skills. When they come to you, you will be able to convert their query into paid legal work. That increases your income. Use your communication to set vision for your practice. Why do you want to set a vision? Earlier, you were, what were you? You were a solo person, alone as an in-house counsel, or you were independent practitioner, but then you decided I'll build a team. So how will you run and manage a team? You will need to use a heightened level of communication to set the vision for your practice. Okay. You will need to learn delegation, management, and team building. But without communication, you cannot delegate, you cannot build a team, you cannot manage, you cannot motivate. How many of you resonate with this? Okay, this looks like a new idea to me, and I was surprised when I discovered this, that without communication, you can't set vision, you can't delegate tasks, you can't build a team, right? Use enhanced communication to motivate, lead, and inspire others. This will improve output from your practice. This is still not there. This is what you need to do. Use practice management software to bring in efficiency and automation. See, you can't use this at beginner level. Why? Because you just don't have time to think and explore anything. But at intermediate, you have that time. Okay. So here you are accelerating and you are using these softwares which improves your speed even more. Your delivery speed work improves. 17 to 25 weeks it will take to get here. Okay. How many of you can identify with this and want to come here? Madhav, please identify where you can improve, how you can improve, which states you can use, what things you can do to improve. Why are you not identifying what you can do? Identify where I am now and what points I need to go, what points I need to incorporate. Advanced. Okay, this is the next level. There is one more level after this. This is the fourth level. You can read at above 400 words per minute with full comprehension. You're on a knowledge hunting spree. You can write over 2000 words, well researched and well thought out, publishable pieces in your area of expertise in 3 to 4 hours time. How many of you want to get here? How many of you want to get here? Say yes if you want to get here. Will this help you get more build your practice, get better jobs, get promotions, get more clients? Yeah. You can rapidly write detailed emails for different purposes. So a formal email often is longer, and clients in corporate scenarios will be communicating a lot of detailed content over emails. And so you'll need to write longer emails for different purposes, either legal strategy. Okay, this is what happened, this went against us, now here are the next 4 steps. If that doesn't work, then this is our second strategy. If that doesn't work, this is our third strategy. Please tell us how to proceed. You will need to provide legal updates also, legal updates with your interpretation, so that they can ask you further if they need any other or any new legal service with you from you. Okay, you are considered an ace negotiator because of the results you are producing, and you're becoming a master of persuasion. So with this English plus communication skills, you are negotiating and persuading very well. You can draft contracts, big contracts, detailed petitions, 20 to 50 pages. You can do these very fast in a relatively short time and comfortably. You can communicate effectively with corporate clients, foreigners, and law firms. How many of you face struggle here, and how many of you want this result? Say yes if you want this result. Okay. Yeah, somebody said this is a dream. Very good. Good that you are able to identify what matters to you. You've developed strong public speaking skills and can engage an audience. You are highly engaging and the audience loves you. So this is not about before a judge you have rights of audience. Judge will hear you. A client wants advice on a legal matter, they'll hear you. But when you talk to a crowd, they are like very, very engaged by what you say. They want to listen more to you. And that is purely voluntary, on a voluntary basis. If they had to, they could leave, but they don't leave because what you're saying is so meaningful, so inspiring, so valuable. Yeah. You are comfortable with denying requests that are not acceptable to you. How many of you face problems in saying no? Denial or saying no to requests that are not acceptable to you. How many of you face a problem? How many of you accept something that is unacceptable? How many of you react, get angry, and all of that? Or how many of you take it personally, take it on your ego, and you say that you're saying this to me, now I'll not do anything, forget this, I'm not going to do anything. Some of you may want to hide and just disappear from the situation. Some of you will try to passively boycott the person, right? So now here at this level, you're so confident with your communication. You communicate the exact thing. No worry about the other person getting offended. You're not offended yourself. Okay, and that helps that the other person doesn't get offended. Okay. Now, when you're able to do this, no, your life is much easier. Even if you're communicating with clients, even if you're communicating with seniors, you're clear that, okay, I'm doing the right thing. You can create scope limitations. Every time a new challenge comes, no, anytime there's a challenging problem, what will happen? For you as a professional, you want to say to your client, boss, this is the fee. This is what I can do. This is what I can't. And frequently, everything you imagine will change because some new complexity will come up, new kind of legal matter, outside scope of retainer. So this will frequently start to happen. Whatever you planned, the scope will expand. So there it will be important that, okay, now for this problem, this is my scope. And you can, yet many people are scared of limiting their scope because otherwise client will go away. In the beginner stage, you were saying yes to every request and then ruining your work life balance and leading clients to dissatisfaction. Now here you can create a scope limitation and still persuade a client that, this is valuable to you, worth paying for. Your effectiveness in onboarding clients has increased by 2 to 3 times. How many of you want this result? Okay. Sarthak, whatever you want in your career, remember it's a function of communication. We'll speak to this. Okay. Judges and senior advocates appreciate your drafting skills when they see petitions drafted by you. Judges will see it. Senior advocates, when they are either on the other side against you, you're confident in arguing against them. Okay. And when you're briefing a senior counsel for a matter of your client, the senior counsel is saying, who's drafted this? You will say me. So he'll be impressed. Okay. Sometimes they may say, okay, you want to, like, they may refer matters, or they may say, okay, work with me as my junior. You're confidently able to argue before different courts and tribunals. You're not afraid that, oh, I have 2 years experience, the senior counsel is there on the other side. You'll have no problem. You'll say, I'll communicate, I'll do my job properly. It appears seamless for you, but other lawyers envy you for your high effectiveness. You're doing the same thing, they think they're doing the same thing, but you're getting the results. They're like, how do you do it so easily? Okay. You've started charging a premium for your services now. You've understood this, right? That I am more effective and it's worth it for the client. So you can charge a premium for your services. Clients don't mind paying you more because you're getting them the results they want. You have a small team now of 2 to 3 juniors who are extremely motivated to work for you, and they're clear that they'll grow through that process. You pay them well because you understand that, I've set the vision, I need to pay them well, and you want to retain them. And they are motivated to work for you. They'll not go for somebody else just because they have a better brand or they are paying them more salary, because they know that you have groomed them, you're taking care of their salary, and you're motivating them. As you set expectations better for your clients and you are delegating effectively, you are having a better work life balance. Can you imagine this life? More money, more clients, better results, superior work life balance, bigger team. So this is actually a more comfortable life or more difficult life? Say comfortable or say difficult. Say comfortable or difficult depending on how you see it. Yeah. So imagine here some magical results are happening. To an outsider, they'll think, how in the world you do it? Okay. You are motivated to work harder. Will you be motivated to work harder when life is like throwing all this delightful things at you? You will be, right? Although you are technically very sound and highly effective, there's just one little drawback. You don't always get the results you expect. Okay. You are like 70%, 80% effective. Okay. Vishal, motivation doesn't last much because you don't have enough results to motivate you again and again. Now, there are unexpected turns which you are unable to handle, as you sometimes misinterpret the motivations of other stakeholders. So, you are great with communicating, you are great with listening to what is being said and to what is written in the document. But what is the hidden intention? What is the hidden agenda? What are the hidden motivations? Sometimes parties don't say, right? Sometimes stakeholders don't say, sometimes they can't say. Okay. And sometimes they are just bad at communication. But if you don't get it right, your negotiation will fail. You'll fail to convince the judge about your argument. You'll fail to convince the other side's lawyer. Lot of things. You'll not be able to uh, help out parties. A lot of this problem will happen. For this reason, what happens is that you're a great lawyer, you're emerging, budding rock star, but you're unable to break into top echelons of legal practice. Okay. Now I'm talking about aiming for the sky. Okay. So, next breakthrough. You're at advanced level. So what's the next breakthrough? You're already on your way to become a respected and successful lawyer. But there's scope for improvement in understanding people's psychological motivations. What motivates people? Is it recognition, acknowledgement, growth? What is it that is relationships, acceptance? What is it that is motivating the person? Non-verbal communications of different stakeholders. This you have to understand. You can understand non-verbal communication in a virtual meeting also, on the telephone also, on a written email also. Okay. How many of you know that this can happen? You can understand somebody's non-verbal communication, not just when they're speaking with you face to face in real, in physical world, but also on the computer, on the telephone, on chat, on WhatsApp, in all these people, in all these places, right? If you have enhanced communication skills, this will happen. Working on these areas will help you improve in your court craft and performance in client negotiations. Anybody who's in court craft, they are wanting you to understand these things, the hidden motivations, psychological motivations of various judges and stakeholders and other side parties, all of that. Okay. It will also help you in conceptualizing deals more comprehensively. Because of your superior communication skills, what will happen now is that you will be able to create better deal structures than even the parties. So what will happen is that your client will say, you only make the deal, you negotiate, you conceptualize it and tell me, this is what I want. Okay. At this stage, you can charge any fee you want. Okay. Which is what's the deal. If you charge more than what the client will get from the deal, obviously it will not work. But otherwise, if it works for the client, any fees you want, you can charge. Okay. Because the client is going to blindly trust you because you're acting in their interest and you're so effective. Okay. There is scope to improve your reading speed even further now. It'll help you prepare faster because you're doing a lot of heavy duty work, reading big judgments, contracts, preparing big petitions. So you want to argue against the best lawyers right now and the topmost forums. You'll see that the best lawyers use different strategies. They are using very subtle techniques. Okay. So you want to get to that stage right now. Now there is scope to improve your reading speed so that you can process, comprehend more, and also understand the hidden motivations of different sites. You can start reading more about industry developments in addition to legal news and updates. So legal news, everybody reads case law, legal news, live laws updates. Okay. But what about industry developments? Which industries are going to be leading the way in the next 2 to 3 years? How will that improve your practice? How will that impact your practice? What do you need to be prepared for? Which jobs will be taken away? Or where do you need to upskill? Where will there be more legal work? That is what you'll be able to identify. And if you identify this, you'll be able to identify this better than other lawyers. And if you create videos and content on this, then you understand, right? You will be the first mover. You will have the first mover advantage. How many of you want this result? Say yes, I want this. Say yes. How many of you want this in your career? Okay. Great. Now you may be able to spot industry developments and trends. And how does that help you? Now you will be able to work on interdisciplinary matters owing to your voluminous consumption of new content. What is interdisciplinary? Two areas of law: tax, corporate, white collar crime, three areas of law: arbitration and contract, okay, litigation and something else, technology, litigation and technology. Okay, that will happen. You will have superior knowledge, better communication and comprehension. You can work on drafting more complex, high value contracts. For a single contract, you will charge a lot more than you charge now, and you will be able to close it. The client will happily pay you. You can represent clients in landmark cases. When the judgment comes, you can say, my name was reported in this, in your CV, reported judgments, this. In your proposals to new clients, you will say that. How much time does it take? 26 to 40 weeks. Okay, 40 weeks is almost 9 to 10 months. 26 weeks is about 6 months. Okay, 6 to 10 months you have to keep in mind. The last is pro. Remember, we said beginner to pro, so this is pro. You can read at a speed of 600 to 900 words per minute or even more with superb comprehension. You can identify central ideas in complex case laws quickly. You can understand multi-contract transactions also. You can split apart multiple contracts, see, oh, what happened. If there's a case file you're reading at the appellate level, you'll quickly see, oh, this was the trial court's order, this was the appellate court's order, this was the legal principle. You'll quickly go to the grounds and you'll see what works, what doesn't. So you'll have a new level of expertise here. You can address any objections that your audience will have. Okay, clients, other lawyers, judges, regulatory authorities will anticipate that, look, this is their interest. So if you're doing this, we need to address this problem first for them. If they feel safe about it, we'll get through. So this is what the other side will give you approvals for. This is what the clients will trust you for. Okay, this will be the source of your higher success. You can preempt their concerns by addressing them first. How many of you know that if you can predict the other side's concern and address it first, they prefer that, because then you are not addressing their problems as an afterthought. Yeah. You can draw attention and engage audiences very comfortably. You're proficient with identification of non-verbal issues, hidden intents, and you can quickly dissipate the other side's states of frustration or contempt. Boss, you didn't prepare hard, man. You're just a new lawyer. What are you telling me? If somebody speaks like that to you, you will be able to deal with it comfortably. How many of you want that? Tomorrow somebody dismisses you, you want to say that, you want to stand your ground and say that I have a right to be heard. And if you want to dismiss me, please write in the order that you didn't hear the other party. Because that order you get, you can appeal, right? So you want that confidence. You can create simple metaphors and use storytelling here to explain complex concepts to an audience of clients. See, imagine, okay, if you are untrained, unprepared for a new thing, it takes you 3 hours to prepare. In the court, you may have only 2 minutes. So you have to tell a story there. Okay, that is what you'll be able to do. In a webinar I was taking with a senior advocate, it was Siddharth Luthra sir. So he was sharing how, there was an IT Act case which he argued, where he communicated to the judges the concept of intermediary liability by comparing it with a simple, book publisher situation. And he did it brilliantly. Like the metaphor was amazing. And he said that's how the courts understood it, because we had no prior history or no prior experience. Okay, so this you will be able to do. Okay, and any client, any foreigner, judge, senior lawyer, they don't know the technical subject, doesn't matter. You'll be able to argue. There's a flow in what you will say. Tuck, 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 tuck. It will like flow properly. Sequence will be there. What you're saying will land on the other side, one after another. Your practice will grow, will leap, okay, forward. And you will be able, because of your improvement in communication, effort is same. Okay, you're still working your regular 10, 12, 8 hours, whatever you're doing, that much you're working the same time. You're ready to get the maximum benefits from this communication skills in anything you do as a lawyer, in-house, litigator, at high courts or Supreme Court, or independent practice. Anything you do, any job, any, legal journalism, any career, if you're a CS, CA, any professional work you do, you will be having these benefits. Okay, you can comfortably secure retainers with corporate clients or law firms, and you can work with foreign clients. Working with foreign clients means that you will be able to charge more, they may negotiate lesser, it may be a smoother journey with them, right? How many of you want this? Say me if you want this. Okay, this result: comfortably securing retainers. To ensure that your practice is growing simultaneously, it is important that you must build your track record from stage 1. Otherwise, what will happen? You become very smart, but nobody knows that you're so good with your communication and professional skills. No. So if that cannot happen, right? Now, reaching this level takes you minimum how much time? About 40 to 50 weeks. Okay, this is the pro level. It takes time for search engines and recognize your best work, social media profiles to gain traction, your quality of content to improve, and time is an important factor here. And you want to use time on your side. You want to have it on your side. So expect results. If you start at beginner level 1, expect results to start flowing in 3 to 4 months from the time that you start. So this was pro. Okay, how many of you want to get to pro? Say pro. If you want to get to pro level, then say pro. Are you excited? So say pro, and if you are excited, say excited. Okay, so pro helps you, gives you benefit. Now learning, practice management, and new skills on specific areas of your practice which have high demand and low supply. What is the meaning of this? More people want this, but less supply is there, but you are providing it. Then you can charge more in comparison to the market. Okay, that will accelerate your results. 40 to 50 weeks it will take. This is 10 to 12 months. How to use this roadmap to grow your practice? Identify where you stand. So now you've seen all the levels. Where do you stand currently? If you are at multiple levels, identify the lowest level that you are at, okay? Because from there, you have to completely transition to the next level, right? Very good, everyone. So, where do you stand currently? Start sharing that quickly. Create monthly goals for your practice in terms of clients, number of mandates, and revenues. Now, this is challenging, but I have a way, I have something that you can use for to help you, okay? Identify the practice area and types of matters that you want to focus on. High demand, low supply. Okay. English communication will be necessary. Why? To create your track record in those areas, in onboarding new clients and for delivery. So, you want to be a recognized name, then you need to communicate in English. You want the request to convert into a paid client mandate. The client has to pay you for fees for the work. Then again, you have to know English and use English properly. You want to deliver legal service, again, English is going to be a key component here. As you learn more every week, there are few tasks to perform every day. Take up speaking sessions for different stakeholders, different industry bodies. You'll find them always. When you're doing all this online work, somebody will say, please share this with our members. Please train our members on this. If this is difficult at this stage right now for you, you can video record yourself, review the recording, and when you are confident, you're happy, start posting it on your YouTube channel. Write articles every month, preferably every week. We are happy to publish them on 𝗊𝗋𝗳𝗃 blog. It is the largest legal issue based blog. It has got 2.5 million visitors. It is getting now this month. Okay, so you've got a really huge audience that can read your blog post if it is on the right topics. Okay, if your post meets the quality criteria, we'll be happy to publish it. Total immersion is highly recommended, because you need to get to the point where you're thinking and dreaming in English. Otherwise, you will think in your language, some other language, and you will think of translating, and then you will translate. Okay. So you don't want to translate your thoughts. You want to directly think in English and express. Repeatedly reading the same books is weak. Okay. So you can't keep on rereading the same book again and again for your
No,
grammar.
that's a little different. So,
Okay.
in fact, what I recommend that you have to repeatedly read the same books. Okay, so for example, how I started when I was this has a specific reason why you do this. Okay, so for example, when I was mm, in high school and I wanted to improve my vocabulary, and I read this book, 𝗂𝗵𝗧 and Goblet of Fire. It was a really good book, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading it as well, right? And I used to read it a lot of times, reread all the time. And from that, I see, if you read it once, you will not be learning. I mean, first time I read it, I missed out a lot of words. I didn't understand their meaning. I didn't understand certain sentences. But when I read it again, I got a little more of the story. Okay, so it was enjoyable even when I read the second time. And then I read it the third time, fourth time, repeatedly, and that made a huge difference, because every time I was picking up new words, new sentence structures. And this is what happens, because have you done this? Have you ever reread the same book or watch the same movie again, and then when you realize, when you watch the first time you missed out certain things, and you watch the second time, there are certain subtle things you realize, oh, this last time I didn't see this. And this will happen to you when you read the same book again and again, and you will pick up a lot of words you did not earlier. So I'll tell you how I learned a lot of words. So it's really boring if you have to remember from dictionary or write down vocabulary. It's very not that enjoyable. But how it worked for me was that if I read the same word again and again in the book, right? So for example, the word yell, and you read the word yell in multiple different contexts, right? Then you will start realizing that what it means, what the word possibly can mean. Same thing, if you read the same word many times, you will start picking up the meaning of it, and you will remember certain sentence structures, certain words will come into your mind you would have learned. And our brain is really powerful. Okay, it can pick up things if you are regularly exposing yourself to certain things. Your brain will pick up all those things. So remember, when you were a child, okay, you may have learned your mother tongue, but maybe you learned one more language apart from mother tongue. So for example, I learned Hindi. So my parents do not speak Hindi. My father cannot speak Hindi at all. But because I was watching TV, Doordarshan mostly, okay. But because there were Hindi movies and Hindi serials, and I was watching them, I automatically picked up Hindi. How did I learn Hindi? Nobody taught me Hindi, right? So, and many of you learned Hindi that way, yes or no? Maybe Hindi is not your mother tongue, and you still learned Hindi. You did not have to go to any class, right? You automatically learned. How? Because you and there may be others of you who are not knowing Hindi, but you watch something else, maybe some other language. Like maybe there's somebody, Srishti Rungta, if she's here, the other day she was saying that I learned Bengali. So she is not, her mother tongue is not Bengali, right? Some other language, Hindi. But when she was in Calcutta, she just observed everyone and learned Bengali automatically, but just by absorbing what other people are saying. So your brain is powerful enough to absorb things if you repeatedly expose yourself to the same things, okay, which is why it is highly advisable that you do that. But you want to read a book which you will enjoy reading, which is why I am recommending that you read a narrative, okay. So you realize that by exposing yourself a lot to any language, repeatedly the same words, repeatedly the same sentence structure, you'll pick it up. So you should go for a book that will interest you. That's right, Astha. And pick up narratives, right? Books with stories, something which a story that is gripping and very interesting, and then read the same thing again and again and again. Now, this really helped me to rapidly build my vocabulary, my knowledge of grammar, sentence structure. It just became like second nature rather than trying to study it from grammar book, which is very hard. Abhyuday, can I have the next one? Repeatedly watching dialogue rich movies and repeating the dialogues from the movie and delivering them, delivering them properly to practice speaking. This is also very, very important. So you can learn the words and vocabulary and grammar and syntax by reading a book, but you will not learn to speak until actually you deliver speaking, right? Do you realize what I'm saying? You have to deliver speaking. And how will that happen? So I know what I'm suggesting is crazy, but I did this and it worked for me, and I know it works, okay? I have never heard anyone else doing it, but when I did it, it worked wonders for me, and every student of mine who has done it, it has worked for them. So you watch a movie, and I recommend James Bond movies because it's dialogue rich, it's British English. So you pause so you watch the movie once so that you are not having a problem. But next time you watch it a second time, and every dialogue you pause and you deliver it the way they said it, right? You deliver the dialogue yourself, and you do it for every dialogue in the movie. And I recommend that you do it for 1 hour every day. And if you do it for a month, okay, maybe Friends, okay, that's fine. Your English speaking really improve after watching Friends. Now imagine if you pause every dialogue of Friends and you say it yourself, then you will see the difference, because your brain will learn how to speak much faster. Your brain will start absorbing those words much better, and you will be able to speak when it comes your turn to speak without thinking. Okay, it's very, very important. You will develop fluency. So Bianca, do you have fluency in speaking English? How many of you struggle to have fluency in speaking English? So you try this exercise, it will change completely. Okay, next. Identify speaking partners with whom you can speak in English. Okay, unless you are going to practice with people in real situations, you will not really learn to speak English. I learned everything, vocabulary, grammar, this, that, but until I was actually speaking with people, real people, I never really learned to speak English. So you need that environment where you're really speaking. So you need people with whom you can practice speaking English. Otherwise, you'll never learn. Okay, next. Very important, reflect on your conversations and identify what could be done better. So once you had a conversation, do you have a habit of reflecting back and checking what you did well, what you didn't do well? Do you actually do that? Anyone here, do you do that? Yes or no? Okay, you have to reflect back and see what you did right, what you didn't do right. That will help you to improve. Next. Those who take, okay, now Abhyuday, you can carry on from here.
Okay, so those of you, so you can, Ramanuj shared a few methods that you can implement, and there will be people who want assistance, that some of you may want us to, help you out with that. So I just want to say that those of you who will be taking up the diploma in English communication will be having access to assistance with the writing part, editing, publication of articles, and a few more things. But Ramanuj, you can continue with these tips.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Hmm.
it's great when you have somebody to guide you and help you through. And, like I said, that when you are, you need people to practice with, right? So imagine you are part of a class and there are other students and you practice every day, you have a teacher to guide you. It changes everything for you, okay? Those who post on multiple social media accounts every day, this is highly recommended, right? So social media has changed everything. You can create a really fast feedback loop. You can create a really quick, habit. And it is, it's something that addictive, posting on social media and getting things. Can you go back, Abhyuday?
Sorry,
Don't
sorry,
think
it
at
was
that.
accidental. Hmm.
So it will really change your brain, and it will wear your brain for thinking clear, getting addicted to writing and publishing. And you want to benefit from that. You want to get addicted to writing, publishing, getting feedback, people saying good, bad, whatever, like, it's really, really help you, right? So you can post on social media, take periodic interviews with, you can interview people and publish, which is a great idea. Webinars where you're interviewing people is a great idea. You can do interviews in writing, that's also a great idea. Write newsletters, maybe, I mean, yeah, that's possible. Write newsletters or articles. Share updates with new clients, especially since you're a lawyer, you'll be having clients and you want to share updates with them regularly. That will make a big difference. Okay. Yeah, Abhyuday, this is what you have written. Please take
So
it.
there will be now, see, as you are implementing these aspects, you will need to set some goals for yourself, right? To build that into a habit. If you set a goal that, okay, now when do you want your peer group by, how frequently will you post, what time of the day will you post? That is one level, okay? That is action and targets. The other level of goal setting is that you will need to set out how many, what are the kind of, so I've written that earlier, I've spoken about this, that you want to set out how many clients you want, what is the kind of revenue you want in each month. And then you'll have to identify, okay, how much I need to be there, how many articles should I write, how many interactions should I have in English with potential clients, how many conversations to provide them, something called as roadmaps, okay, roadmaps to get the solution that the client wants, in how many roadmaps to make. All of that you will need to set, okay? Because if you set those goals, then what happens is that as you are learning English, you will be able to translate it into real benefits for your practice. This is goal setting if you want to build an independent practice. Similarly, goal setting if you want to be a good junior will be different. If you want to uh, pursue some other kind of career, it will be different, okay? um, any other important daily practices and habits you want to speak about, Ramanuj? You've shared that, right? It was there on the agenda. So
Yep. So I'm going to introduce you to some important daily practices and habits. So I have just told about the important daily
hmm.
practices and habits, right? So one is reading. I don't know, Abhyuday.
I
I don't know what are the next slides.
I
Can you?
want to ask them to to say it back, like, whether they picked up any. This was the agenda, so I had taken that. Now I want to know which daily practices can you pick up from this,
Yeah.
from
So what are
my.
the daily practices and habits that you learned about, and that you are going to incorporate from tomorrow or from the next week or so on? Reading. Okay. So don't say just reading. You need to say that I'll be reading for 1 hour every day, 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So reading is nothing. I'm going to write. This is like just in the air. Okay. That doesn't mean anything. So what are you going to write? When are you going to write? How much time are you going to spend every day writing? If you do not have specific habits, it's not going to work. What specific habit are you creating? Write in the chat. Write a specific habit. Daily 10 words. Rather, that is at least actually very specific. That's good. I will make it a habit of reading 1-2 hours a day. Soumya, this is too generic. Even this is too general. You can say, I will read for 1 hour every day, but what time? 5 o'clock in the evening every day, or 10 o'clock before sleeping every day I'll read. So if you don't specify, if you do not block off a chunk of time, you're never going to succeed. I will learn 20 new words every day. What time of the day? I'll read one judgment every day. What judgment? Why? What time? Where from where? Read 1 hour daily in morning. Morning what time? 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll write content. What time? Soumya is saying 10 a.m. every morning. Very good.
Manjula is saying we'll watch 2 movies every day.
Yeah, awesome. So watch one movie, and one movie you practice delivery of dialogues, right? Two English newspaper in morning 6 to 9. Very well. Newspaper reading is good in the morning or night. Doesn't matter, yeah. Don't do like hair splitting. Doesn't matter when you read it. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share about how we've been helping 𝗀𝗃𝗃 students to improve their legal English communication every month. So you've got the roadmap, you've identified where you stand, you have identified also what the next level looks like and what are the opportunities available in the next level. And so now I'm going to share, okay, so we started the course in June or July 2020. So we're going to share how we've been helping the students. 1 second. Slides are not loading. Yeah. So, for example, 𝗱𝗲 Agarwal she graduated in 2018 as a lawyer. She's practicing under an advocate on record at the Supreme Court, joined the course in July 2020. So she wanted to improve her writing, speaking, and grammar skills. So she joined the course. You can understand if you're working with an advocate on record, there's going to be a lot of Supreme Court drafting work, and you have to draft in correct English. Otherwise, there will be a problem, right? So now she's more confident while speaking in English, and her writing has improved too. What are her favorite classes? She loves reading comprehension classes in which they read paras and then comprehend and summarize them verbally in the class. So as Ramanuj was saying, right, you're watching the movie, you say it back, practice repeating the dialogues. Now here in reading comprehension, they are trying to read the para and understand and then summarize. So trying to get the essence of the idea here. Then she likes the grammar class, which taught her the rules of grammar from the basic to the advanced level that are used every day. She said that what helped her was the logic behind the rules of grammar, which made it very interesting and easy to remember. It wasn't that, she has been given 10 rules, she has to mug it up and now apply it, whatever happens. She knows the logic and that makes it stick in her head. In comparison to grammar books, she says that it gives her a practical view and it's not boring. When you read a grammar book, sometimes what happens is that you lose track. Okay, how many of you have felt that? Let me know when you try to learn grammar. As an adult, particularly, it is harder. It touches basic points of grammar and is also comprehensive in a way that you can apply it. Okay, so it's relevant to everyday usage, and lessons are applicable. You can implement the lessons immediately. Then 𝗁𝗃𝗃 from he's a political science graduate from Delhi University. He's pursuing 3-year LLB from Amity University, Noida. And he says that he was fairly conversant with oral English pronunciation. He was already good at it. Okay. But he said that his writing and expression skills needed work. As a lawyer, he'd have to draft documents every day, and it would be crucial for him to have adequate writing skills. Okay. Now, for professional success, in the course, he found constant feedback from the faculty and an encouragement, providing that safe space, encouraging people to participate, that he found to be very helpful. He said that, this is not a monologue where one person is giving a lecture, but the faculty is asking all the students to participate. Now, incidentally, he also loves the grammar class. He says that the faculty shares a screen and teaches how to write complex sentences using English grammar, but students can then understand how to process it and write themselves. So that builds their confidence. He says that whenever he had any doubts, his questions were quickly resolved by 𝗀𝗃𝗃's team on the WhatsApp group, and they promised responses to content related questions within a day, and it was solved in that much time. And any technical issues like, not having access, finding some pages not loading, all of that was resolved within an hour. Our company timeline is about 3 to 6 hours, but they were actually resolved in 1 hour. The course really helped him. In a short time of a few months, he noticed a great improvement in his writing skills. And what he said is that the faculty encourages us to write short paras of 200 to 300 words and progressively build up to longer pieces of writing. So in the initial phase, it's important, no, that you start writing one para, two paras, and then move on to write the uh, whole piece. Okay. So now, how can we help you get started with your English communication skills and legal practice? I understand everybody may not be interested in taking up the course with us. Some of you may be. Okay. But here's what, if you want to know about what further will be helpful to you, how we can assist you, then I can just let you know that. Okay. Now understand this. How fast will you learn if you had access to the following: one grammar class every week, one class for listening and oratory, one class a week for writing and reading comprehension. So you're getting three classes: one grammar class, okay, listening and oratory class, writing and reading comprehension. 12 classes every month live with the teacher. We spoke about her, right? Ramanuj explained to you about 𝗀𝗏𝗃 and her linguistic skills. Unlimited doubt solving with tutors, not capping this, unlimited doubt solving. Two assignments after every class, focused on taking you to the next level. That intensive practice we were talking about, now, that is needed to move from one level to the next. So, two assignments after every class. Article writing coaches and guidance, so you can publish at least one article in a month. Most of our students write their first article with us with the help of our writing assignment coaches. Okay. Access to our placement office and their mentorship towards success in your career. Placement office will help you in securing internships, jobs, client opportunities, and it is not limited for the duration of the course. It is accessible for multiple opportunities you will have access. So it includes clients, client opportunities, job opportunities, internship opportunities, freelance work opportunities. You can help foreign lawyers with business development, with content marketing, with social media, and we'll train you for that. And by the way, you'd have been building your English skills and sharing your expertise on social media, right? Every day you'll be writing a post. So you will already be conversant with a lot of this work over the duration of the course. Every week you'll be doing this. So will this be useful for you? Say yes if you think this will be useful for you. Okay. We're not asking you to make any commitment right now. So you can just say yes if you think this will be useful. Say no if you think it will not be useful. Okay. Great. Now, do you think that you can learn faster and progress faster in your career with this course? Say yes if you think so. Say no if you don't think that you will progress faster. Okay. So do you think this will accelerate your progress? That's the question with our help. Now, I'll just tell you the fees, logistics. So my intention here is, to build our intention is to build a community of successful lawyers. And we know that lawyers need a lot. There's a lot of training and guidance and support needed for that. Okay. So the English communication course, it's a course of 1 year duration. You have access to content for 3 years. This is available for 50,000 rupees, all inclusive. Okay. You'll have 3 classes every week, approximately 150 in the whole year. Lots of learning with assignments to implement your skills over a period of time. If you just look at the class cost, it's coming to around 320, 350 per class. You will have inline one-on-one personal evaluations to identify your mistakes, corrections basically, and how you can improve. So what happens in the real world? You write something, make a mistake, either somebody judges you or gets angry with you or gets frustrated with you. Here you have a safe environment where you get manual corrections from an evaluator, and you can discuss assignments with them if you're stuck, if you have doubts. Okay. This will give you the environment, the tools, the teachers, and the content. So there are lots of study materials. You get access to hard copies also, which you can use to study and learn. Our writing assignment coaches are going to help you to write and publish articles in the areas of your interest where you want to build a career. You want to write as many articles as you want, we will encourage you. Okay. For those who need financial assistance, a lot of you may say, I don't have this money right now, but I want to learn this. I want financial support. So we have a tie-up. Okay. We have a collaboration with Bajaj Finance. You can obtain a loan from them. And I am giving you a special offer that, the interest cost there will not be applicable to you. We'll absorb all the interest cost. So for you, this is going to be interest free. 𝗀𝗏𝗃 will absorb the interest cost. Your total payment will still stay 50,000 rupees. To avail of the loan option, a down payment of 11,200 is to be made. your monthly EMI will approximately be 3,334 per month for 12 months. Okay. A 1 month refund policy is also available if you are unsatisfied or dissatisfied after 1 month. You must attend all the classes live and complete all assignments in the first month. And after that, if you're still unhappy, you can claim the refund in 15 days. So between 31st to 45th day, you can claim the refund. The risk is not on you, it's on us. Okay. If you study the course, don't find value in 1 month, the risk is on us. Okay. All cost of classes, evaluation, all of that stays on us. Okay. For any reason, if this does not work for you, you can get a refund, right? Now you can read the refund policy here on the link. I'm sending the link on chat to everybody. This is published. Okay. Transparent, clear, published refund policy. Okay. Before you go, now I want to share something special with you, which is available only for all of you. This is not about selling our courses. We are interested in really building a community to help young lawyers to succeed. And we realize that, you may require additional skill sets. Like in all this time, when I'm talking about different levels of English, I'm saying that how your legal practice will grow, right? So you realize that there's English communication, a little bit of practice management, and some of you may feel that I need more practical skills also. Otherwise, purely alone in English I improve, but how do I gain those practical skills? Let's say I want to learn technology law, I want to learn M&A, I want to learn banking finance, I want to learn litigation. How do I improve in those areas, right? So we are willing to go an extra mile today to help you in your success. The first 5 people who enroll tonight will obtain complimentary access to our legal practice management course. This course is of 1 year duration. There's again one session every week. It's priced at 30,000 rupees. Faculty for the course comprises of Abir Roy. Currently, he's taking classes. He's co-founder of Sarvada Legal and Competition Practice Head at the firm. He's a former partner at Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan, and an ex Amarchand Mangaldas senior associate. He was senior associate in Amarchand Mangaldas before the split into Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas and Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas. Another faculty member, Nipun Bhatia, he's president of strategic initiatives at Legal League Consulting. This is a firm that works a lot on all law firm partnerships, referral arrangements, equity sharing, branding, practice management for law firms, all the stuff that is being taught to small law for you. This they do professionally as a service, charging lakhs for it for law firms. Okay. So he's taken some exciting sessions on thought leadership. How do you become a thought leader? How do you set revenue targets? Business development, client handling, creation of business plans, and several other important aspects. So I'll tell you something. This is useful for lawyers who want to build their practice. Okay. Young lawyers who want to become a partner in the law firm. And thirdly, law students, if you want to work for long-term internships. Okay. Law firms value and seniors value your expertise if you can help them with this stuff. This is the stuff that's really hard for them to grasp. They struggle with social media. They struggle with content writing. They want interns who can help them with great content writing, who can optimize this, who can help them with management of different projects. Okay. So if you want to stand apart, in addition to your other skill sets, practice management skills will help them with various other parts of their work to help them consider you as indispensable. Legally consulting, as I said, consults Indian law firms on these areas: law firm practice management, branding, technology, adoption of new technology, partnerships and referral arrangements, and other services. Ramanuj has taken sessions himself on branding, building a web presence for young lawyers, how to add value to existing clients, offer new services to existing clients, meaningful networking, creating great proposals, digital transformation of law practice, how to get corporate clients, and several other important themes. And just to explain what you will be learning about in legal practice management, what is legal practice management all about? I'll explain to you in simple terms. How to create a vision for your law practice, how to decide whether to build a boutique or a full service law firm. Many people have this problem, right? That a lawyer will think, I'm going independent. Should I build a full service law firm, or should I build like only one practice area, only technology, only IP, only corporate? What should I do? How to identify my areas of practice? Remember, high demand, low supply, so you can charge more. How do you do that? How to build your digital readiness? Okay, how do I go online properly, do this digitally? There are lawyers who are very good with technical skills, very senior, well respected by their clientele, but they don't get new matters. You know why? Because they're not using the internet to spread awareness, to educate clients, to be thought leaders. How to build your reputation, create a great client experience for your clients, create a roadmap. This is the number one tool that will make the client come to you. I was talking to you about objection handling. So objection handling stage you'll get to when you first give a proper roadmap to a client so that the client wants to work with you. Okay, roadmap is very important. Preparation for client meetings, selecting an appropriate pricing model for your services. So if you are a law student also and you can help a lawyer with this, boy, that is going to impress them out of the world. How to secure retainers, how to use technology, how to strike partnerships and referral arrangements with other lawyers. So you're a litigator, but you need a corporate lawyer whom you want to get a referral work. You want to have a CS to do company incorporation, somebody else to do IP registrations for your clients. So that part, how do you structure the commercials? How do you do the referrals? How to get empaneled by banks, PSUs, and other institutions. This is very important, right? For your profile building, being on the panel of a big bank, a PSU, that's really good. How to build a network, how to use events and seminars to your advantage, how to get speaking engagements. All those English skills you will use when you get a great speaking arrangement, right? How to build your system for follow up so that the clients who said, okay, I'll come back to you, they actually come back and pay. How to manage gatekeepers. If you're talking to a big company CEO, a lot of times you will have to pass through the secretary. How do you make sure that the person forwards your request? There's a certain way of speaking to them. So this is going to be useful. These themes are relevant for young lawyers and law students. As a law student, young lawyers, anybody who's a young lawyer, did you understand how this is going to help you? Say yes if you understood how you can use practice management to build your career further. If you're a law student, you can help young lawyers and law firms in the following teams. So law firms today have different teams. Some are core legal practice teams, some are business development, knowledge management, and strategy separate team. And in some law firms, the core practice teams only contribute to these functions. All combinations exist. But apart from performing regular legal work, this work also you can help them with. This work often doesn't have confidential client data. So if you are working remotely, then this work will be in huge number. Okay. These skills are rare not just amongst law students, but lawyers as well, right? So any senior or law firm will find these useful if you intern with them or if you are working with them as a junior. If you want to pursue running internships, this is extremely useful. Apart from building internship experience and credibility, you will have a higher chance of cracking job interviews. Anybody guesses why? Because recruiters appreciate it when you understand how a law practice works. You understand their vision, reputation, profitability, revenues, they will be completely blown away. Okay, before you go, I want to share one more offer with you. We understand that practical skills greatly complement English communication. So you have English communication, you have practice management. How can you add a practical skill set to it? Okay, now one more offer. If you enroll tonight, only limited for 5 people, because guys, this is really expensive for us to deliver. You saw the English cost just at the classes was coming to 350. Okay, so you can also obtain access if you enroll tonight to any one diploma or executive certificate course from 𝗀𝗄𝗃 so that you can also build your technical skills side by side. Okay, in total you can access courses of up to 1,16,000 rupees value at 50,000 rupees, and that includes getting a loan interest free for 50,000 rupees, starting with like approx 11,000 down payment and 3,300 per month EMI. Okay, now we'll make it comfortable for you to manage your schedule. You can complete 2 complementary courses at any time in the next 2 years. Which are the 2 complementary courses? The legal practice management course, which is a 1-year course, and second, the other diploma or the executive certificate course. Why are we doing this? Because if you're learning 3 courses at once, you may not be able to manage it all. Some of you may be able to, some of you may not be able to. Okay, unfortunately there's a significant cost in providing all these services. So there's like one class every week in legal practice management, about 2 sessions every week, 1 to 2 sessions in other diplomas and executive certificate courses. So the cost, delivery, actual mentorship, evaluations is very expensive for us also, right? But we want to encourage early action takers, and above all we want to build a community of successful lawyers, right? So we want to so we have to manage all of this together, which is why we are keeping this limited to the first 5 people who enroll today. Okay, And one more reward for early action takers. If you want to avail of the offer, you can block your seat and you don't have to pay the whole money right now. You can make a payment of 7,000 rupees to block your seat. This is not to access your course. This is to block your seat and to, lock in the special offer that I talked about. Okay. This offer will expire tonight at midnight. Tomorrow it will not be available. It's only available for the first 5 students. The others who register later will have to pay the full fees for the English course, and the other 2 courses that I said will not be available. After you block your seat, I'll tell you what happens. Our team will contact you to guide you on the best and most appropriate diploma or executive certificate course for you, given your career goals. And they'll assist you with the balance payment, documentation process, or for the loan facility. If anybody needs a loan, then they'll help you out as to how to proceed further. Your full balance payment must be completed before latest by 31st January, and before if you want to start studying in advance. Okay. Now you need to visit the following link to claim the offer. I'm going to show it to you on screen right now. Okay, I'm going to show it to you on screen as to how it works. So type this on your screen, you click here, and those of you who are interested in claiming the offer, I suggest you enroll now, because there is 5 people is not a lot of people, right? So you want to keep your seat safe. Okay, so this is the link. This
Yeah, there are
expires
like
tonight.
right now 120 people here and another 40 watching this on YouTube. So a lot of people are watching this. So.
Yeah, for people on YouTube, this offer will be on live chat. I will repeat it. You can see the screen, right? You can see the link here on screen if those who are
Yeah.
watching on YouTube. Okay, so you have to click here. You have to click on enroll now. You'll have to give an email ID. You'll get an OTP. Give the OTP, then your account gets created on our system here, and then you give in your details, make the payment, and that blocks your seat. You will have to only pay 7,000 today. Okay, so whoever is interested, I recommend strongly. I'll wait for about 2 to 3 minutes before proceeding further. I would recommend that you go now and block your seat. You'll not miss out. I'll wait for a couple of minutes, okay, before completing. Okay, on chat, if somebody who intends to enroll, if you all can, you all
If you
can
have
share
any
with us.
questions, I can
And if you have
answer. Please
questions,
ask your question. I'm happy to answer. Okay,
yeah.
there's one question I saw from Rajneesh. You're saying that the price is too high. This is one of the courses where we are charging the least per class. I mean, if you look at it, even a tutor is going to charge you more than this in class 10, class 12, right? So even if you are just calculate the amount, it is hardly, given how much services we provide, including internship services, client support, article writing, publishing. It is not possible. Like even if you go to a local tutor, they'll charge you 2,000, 3,000 per month, right? And we are giving you services for one whole year, right? On top of that, if you're not able to pay at once and you need a monthly installment, you can get a finance, and all of that can be taken care of, right? So yeah, Sarita, if you want to talk to me, you can call me after session. So the point is that, even if you think of what you used to pay to a tutor in local tutor in your class 10, 12 level, we are definitely charging you less than that. So if you still think it is too expensive, then I don't know what, I mean, we are not providing, there are courses where you just get some recordings and you watch recordings. Those kind of things we are providing free of cost. You can go to our YouTube. There are like at least 30 videos that other people charge you money for. We have given you for free, and there are like, that's on English, and we have like we have uploaded 850 live classes last year on YouTube that have been watched more than 18 lakh times. So you can imagine the amount of this thing we are actually providing. Somebody is requesting me for personal consulting. Arvind, why don't you talk to Uzair first, and after that, if Uzair feels that there is a really need to talk to me, then I can step in. But I think most of the time he'll be able to help you out. Uzair will be able to help you out. Have a chat with Uzair. Okay, Arvind. So it's really not that expensive. Trust me. Like for these kind of services, I mean, probably if you enroll in this course next year, it will be priced at 1 lakh rupees. Right now it is 50,000, and if you enroll next year, it will be 1 lakh. And that is what has happened. There was a time when you used to charge 20,000 rupees for diploma courses, and people used to say, oh, this is expensive. And those same people are now coming and enrolling for 36,000, right? Because they realize, it's not like, I mean, you get what you pay for. If you pay really cheap prices, there are courses like that also, but those will not deliver you results. If you need good teachers to spend time with you, work with you, and we are talking about lawyers, we're talking about a legal profession where people can earn a lot of money, there's a lot of potential. You cannot leave it to chances and leave it to people who are not experts, basically, right? So if you try to save money, you will end up with wrong situations. Don't worry, Viraj. If you don't like our previous offer, you can talk to Uzair. He'll help you out. Don't worry. Our people who bought our courses never regret. So don't worry. Okay, you can talk to us. If you are missing anything, we'll give it to you. Don't worry. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions I can
There
answer?
was somebody who said, I want to know everything related to 𝗲𝗂 language, but I can't find any material. How can I learn about that?
So
I
you
don't.
𝗲𝗂 language, you have to improve your vocabulary. Basically, you have to improve your reading comprehension and vocabulary. And we have a lot of exercises on reading comprehension. So in our course, within a month or 2 months, you will see massive improvements over your reading comprehension. And like you will be working on case laws, bare acts, and that kind of language. You will get familiar with that, and your problems will get solved. Moto G9 saying, "Sir, I'm interested." But Moto G9, we don't know your name. Reach out to Uzair, tell him your name, and reach out to Uzair. Uzair will help you.
Any guidance you need, feel free. After you block your seat also, you can consult us for any
Yeah, you
guidance you
can reach
need.
out.
Don't have to worry.
And I'm here to answer all your questions right now. Ask me your
Yeah.
question.
I'm
Uh,
trying to open the Q&A.
Thank you, Sarita. Our requirements is related to business purposes. Sure, Arvind. What is the purpose? You can let me know. Okay, Sarita will book. No problem. I'll have a chat with Sarita soon. Anybody
Okay,
else?
Q&A.
Arvind, you can reach out to Uzair, and if needed, I'll have a chat with you. Don't worry about it. It's not like I don't want to talk. It's just that I'm traveling tomorrow and my time is a little short right now, but I'll definitely make myself available.
Sarthak has asked, he's a law student at NUJS and he's asking if the case laws that we get as everyday readings can help me improve English.
Yeah, your case law reading will help you to a great deal. Okay, if you're reading regularly, and but make it a point every time you come across new words, new phrases, new concept, look them up on Google immediately. Make that as a habit, Sarthak. Okay, so that will help you a lot.
Rianshi is saying if I'm on level 1, then can I also unlock the course of level 2 with level 1? So the English course will be taking you till the pro level. And the person who said there's an issue with fees, remember that this is not a grammar course alone. This is about growing your practice to the level where you are comfortable
Yeah.
with court craft argument, getting clients, writing complex memos, emails, all of that.
So what we are teaching you, you should be able to recover the money within a few months from the extra earning that you will be generating. Udish Garg is saying why the legislature Britisher who drafted statute adopt such complicated language. So there are two reasons I can say. One is that sometimes law is complicated because we use very specific language, right? You want to use specific, precise language. So we need more vocabulary, we need more words, we need more, expressions than other people sometimes. But beyond that, there is also a tendency in the legal profession to write very in mystical, it's a mystification, right? You take something which could be said in a simple words, you say it in more difficult words, complicated way. This is typical to legal profession. Maybe this helps legal profession in some ways, we don't know. It might be helping legal profession to thrive, but I guess there is a lot of effort around the world today to change that. to make things more comfortable and not natural, so that there is no fight over all these things, right? So that's definitely the case, but I guess it will take some time for things to become a little normal. Like there is a um, movement to change things and remove jargons and make things normal. Okay.
Any other questions we can help you all with?
Yeah, we actually have monthly themes. Like on 1 month the theme is arbitration, another month it's negotiation, another month it is RTI, civil litigation. And why we do that? Because we want to make you familiar with different kind of language, different kind of vocabulary. So every month there is a new theme that we follow in our course. So all your problem, Sumit, that you are facing, that will be over once you in our course.
Yeah, so any other question that is left that we were not able to answer? Devyash, if you're here, is your question answered? You're asking why can't you read novel or long judgments? If you want to go out of India for work, then definitely English is going to be very important. If you're going to Europe, US, Canada,
Do I
Singapore,
recommend
Australia.
etymology? No, don't waste your time. See, this is not going to help you. Like, focus on things which will actually help you to succeed as a lawyer. You can focus on communication style. You can focus on, making YouTube videos, blogging. These things will contribute in a big way. Etymology will not. You don't have to. It's like a hobby. If you know, it's like an esoteric hobby you can develop if you want, but it's not necessary. Covers IELTS, yes. So those of you who want to go abroad, and if you want to go, you are going to give examples like TOEFL, IELTS, and if you take our course, you will definitely clear it. Our course is much more advanced than IELTS. So if you take this, it will absolutely cover your requirements for IELTS and TOEFL.
So
Much,
IELTS is a very basic English
yeah,
test.
basic. We are teaching you much more beyond that.
Yeah, and in 12th, like I had taken in 11th, I had taken SAT coaching. Okay, SAT is more advanced than IELTS, but there also in the books that I was reading, I had taken bought all the market books that were there, and they said that you will improve your score by 50 points. That's like getting three more answers right than I would have gotten without preparation. Okay, and they were fat books costing at least like 2000 per book, and foreign publishers, Barron's, Kaplan. So I was like, then how do I sustainably improve my English? And they just said read. Okay, now there was no clear roadmap, no clear strategy. But if you want to go
Merengis
from
is asking, Abhinav, Merengis is asking guidance on writing for law journals and reports. Yes, you have writing
yeah.
coaches. There are two specific writing coaches will guide you on writing and publishing. But we focus on publishing on online media rather than on journals, because nobody reads journals and it will help you more. But if you want to publish in journal, feel free to do so. We don't mind. Why not legal English and legal Urdu? Because if we teach legal English and legal Urdu, nobody will legal Hindi and legal Urdu, nobody will buy those courses. Simple reason as that. Okay. And if legal English, people are struggling with, there is a gap in the market. So when you build something, you need to think that, okay, this thing has a demand, but there is not enough supply, people are having problems. So for that, okay. Pronunciation, yeah, we'll help you learn better pronunciation.
Venkat
But don't focus
accent
too much
and
on pronunciation. Like in accent, everyone has a different accent, and no pronunciation is perfect. Nobody will judge you as long as you're understandable, as long as you're not speaking in a manner that people are finding it hard to understand. There is no problem, right? Don't focus too much on that. Focus on communication. Communication is the key. All right, I think we have answered most questions, unless there is any other question. Does it cover comprehension? Absolutely. Reading comprehension, listening comprehension, so that you can read and comprehend, and listen and comprehend. Both are covered. And complex legal English. So you'll start understanding complex legal English in the course. Absolutely. We'll train you for that specifically. All right. So I guess we can wrap this up, guys. All the best. Anyone will be okay. So how many of you are reaching out to Uzair or booking your seat right now? Anybody, just let us know in the chat. Sarita, I'll speak to you definitely. Anybody else who's going to reach out to either Uzair or book the seat, planning to do so? All right, that's great. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. Take care.
One
Bye.
question was there that if you lay
Okay, Sarita,
emphasis
see you.
on law subjects, then how could it benefit non-law students? Who is the person asking this?
It
Are
has to.
you?
I mean, we don't recommend it for general people. We recommend it for lawyers, but CA and CS are exceptions. They can also join. If you are a CA or CS, because things are so similar, like law wise, you can join. So yeah, so 𝗂𝗳𝗊 is a CS aspirant. 𝗂𝗳𝗊 can join. Okay. So great. Vinay is there, Sumit is there, 𝗂𝗳𝗊 is there. Super. So see you guys all in course. Sarthak also see you. Chetan is already enrolled. Superb. Right. Viraj was there. He's also enrolled. So almost this will be great to see you all in the course. Take care. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.